So Trump pivots to the center and kicks the alt-right in the balls. Well, at least that's how they're taking it. All of the alt-right and the alt-light and I guess, the anti-war right um, have really, I guess, been taken back um, by Trump bombing a mostly empty airfield in Syria the day before he was going to meet with the Chinese president. I mean, obviously, this was a Trump move to position himself for a good deal with China. And everyone is blowing this out of the water. Trump hasn't put troops on the ground. Trump made some tough, neocon rhetoric and probably used some old Tomahawk missiles that have been sitting around that could have been used, and that's why only 60% hit the target. Got all these kooky theories. Trump would talk tough with Putin before he got elected a little bit. He says, well, we'd like to be friends, but if you don't want to be friends, then we'll make, good enemies. Paraphrasing, Trump's style and attitude. So I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, so Trump made a move. I mean, we all knew he was going to pivot center. We all knew he was going to pivot center. And so he pivots center, and it puts everyone off balance. What's with you guys? I don't get it. It hasn't put me off balance. It was to send a message to China about North Korea. Come on. It served multi-purpose. It was Trump doesn't do things for one reason, I bet. You can't. So there was many reasons to do this. He appeases the neocons who, on the neolibs and the neocons who were, trying to paint him as really Russian friendly. So this nips that in the bud. He rallies the troops as commander in chief, appealing to a certain populism, which is part of pivoting to the center. He has CNN carrying water for him now. So he trolls CNN with some bombs. And it looks like he ends up trolling the alt-right and the alt-light as well. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, Trump hasn't committed anything. He hasn't committed to war with Syria. I mean, it's too early in the game to tell. But it does seem like the people who, I mean, even I understand. I get all of his tweets in the past from 2013 and 15 or whatever, what he said in the past, and why, Assad probably wouldn't use weapons of mass destruction. I get all that, and the intel, whether it's right or not. The thing is that, look, Trump was getting intelligence. We don't know what kind of intelligence he was getting. He probably was getting all the intelligence that we had. What everyone was saying. So, my argument is going to be that it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter because Trump took the opportunity to bomb a mostly empty airfield while looking decisive about iffy intelligence about chemical weapons. So it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? If Trump is right or wrong about chemical weapons, because one, he hasn't committed totally to war to overthrow Assad. He's used tough language and he dropped a few bombs. There was minimal damage. You know, it wasn't civilians or anything, right? It was a military target, and it put him in a position to make a good deal with China, to shake off the Russian conspiracy theories, to pivot to the center to appease the war lobby, right? To rally the troops as commander-in-chief and appeal to populism, and pivot to the center. And look, he's disassociating himself with the far right, which might win him more votes in the middle and on the left in the future. So why don't we just wait and see what Trump does before we analyze completely what this strike on Syria was, because it could have been just positioning and appeasement, right? Trump doesn't have to commit to war in Syria, so why don't we just give him the benefit of the doubt for now, and see what happens.